Can we just say that this is such a nice setup compared to at the old apartment?
Absolutely.
100%. 100%.
Hit that yellow button.
Yes.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome to the Ecchi and Chill podcast. I am your host. I am Suneater Evan, captain of the greatest anime podcast. Don't Google that. No need to fact check that. We're just going to run with it. I am here with three also amazing individuals. No need to Google that. That's a fact. On the far left or right of your screen, don't comment saying, I don't know my right or lefts. I don't know how this is going to flip. Every time Dillon comes down, he brings the party with him. But this time he is the party. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. And the fact that you're not wrong, 3 for 3 on that.
Welcome back, Mr. Red. How you doing?
I mean, I'm doing good. I mean, last 6 months have been just kind of a blur. But besides that, I'm fantastic.
Fantastic.
Exactly.
Next to him is the one, the only, Ash Tempura, Ashley Jane Sushi, Mochi,
Yes, I forgot about Mochi. That was added.
the shark skin con celebrity.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Ashley.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
In her first appearance since episode 2.
Yeah. I have not recorded with you in a long time.
I know. It's almost like I see you every day.
I know. I don't want to talk to you.
Okay, fine. I was going to big you up, but no, I'm not.
My bad.
No,
Okay,
I'll be
I wanna
talking
talk to you.
I'll be talking to you
Everything's
about
fine.
some shit. And I'm like, yo, this would be a nice pod episode.
I do agree. Sometimes when we're doing our car dates and we're talking while watching anime, I'm like, yo, this would be great if we were recording us.
Yeah.
But we don't.
I know. But then there's the frustrating part is because as soon as the mic comes on, it's like,
Lost all thought. None.
4
whatsoever.
days ago, we had something for this. I had a joke.
No, empty head. No thought.
And the voice you just heard is the queen of the cosplay, the Himiko Toga, the Snap Nap. I don't know who Snap Nap is.
I was like, where did that one come from?
It's all on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
The one who eclipsed 500,000 views on the TikTok, by the way.
Getting there.
Welcome back to the program, Emily.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be back and in the new setup and seeing the house fully together for the first time.
Thank you. You can find Dillon on Twitch at
Arklay_Red.
yes. You can find Ashley at social media. Does not happen. And
Yep.
but you can find her on all the Boys Love forums. She runs like 50 of those.
I definitely do, yes.
Damn.
You can find me there.
And you can find Emily at Instagram and TikTok at
Emmi27_cosplay.
excellent. You can hit that yellow button again. Welcome back, guys. Hit the red button too.
There we go.
Yes.
I got new drops, by the way.
Noticed
I
that.
did notice that, yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna.
I
air
like
one.
it.
Okay, so we're gonna start this off because I normally say I got a question, but I'm not gonna say that this time.
Hey, yo. Hey, Evan. I got a question.
Yeah.
No, you're supposed to say I have an answer.
The Daily Double.
I got a question. Charmander, Bulbasaur, or Squirtle?
Charmander.
Wrong.
Fuck, I know it's Squirtle, but Charmander's my boy.
Wrong. Sushi.
I don't want to be a basic ass bitch.
What's your answer?
Oh, I like Bulbasaur because he's cute, but I also love Squirtle.
Okay, thank you. So you're not going to make that decision. You're just going to be
Yep.
not Charmander.
Yes.
Noted.
I love Charmander, but I'm not fire.
That's fair. That's fair.
I will rock with that little green bastard till the day I die. Team Bulbasaur, bitch.
Bulbasaur gang. I hate the Bulbasaur slander. We were listening to a video last night where they were slandering my little Bulby boy.
Wait,
I want
hold
to
up.
scrap.
Bulbasaur gets slander? Because that
Yes.
motherfucker...
Bulbasaur
Because
religiously gets
he's
slandered.
easy, and then Squirtle is medium, and Charmander's hard.
They literally described it as like, yeah, pick Charmander. Yeah, it's Charmander, but he gets fucked in the first 2 gyms.
Which he does.
He does. Only in Leaf Green is he a viable option because he learns Metal Claw. In the originals, Charmander may as well not be in your team.
That's true.
You have to get a primate, and then you just have to just karate chop rocks. And then Misty's like, oh, is that a fire type? Are you fucking stupid? Again, I say, because Misty gave me PTSD back in the day. Still, to this day, actually. I annually go through Fire Red and Leaf Green, and that water pulse move, I hear it in my sleep.
Explains why you didn't want to make eye contact with me when I cosplayed as Misty.
Yes.
You stayed on the outside.
because you looked like her, and every time you turned around, we're like, Evan. I was like, ah,
Yeah. That explains the twitch you had all of that con.
My Pokemon are not fainted, I promise.
I can do this. I swear.
Full health.
I did not bring my potions today.
Fuck, I had something for that. It's like, damn it. No, because that's such a terrible place to grind. Because if you're too weak for Misty, you're too weak for your rival who's up the street.
Yeah.
So you're getting clapped twice. You got to go and just train against like 50 Raditas.
And you lose
Is
so
it
much
Rattatas
money,
or
man.
Raditas?
The rat?
Yeah, the Rat.
Rattata. You're thinking of
Rattata?
Raditz from Dragon Ball Z.
I said Rat.
You said Raditz and Rattata.
I did not say Raditz.
You did.
You
say
did.
Raditz.
It's my
Moving on.
It's my podcast. I know what I said. I'm right. So
He's going to edit it out, so he's right.
Yeah. This you won't hear this.
This part doesn't exist at all.
exactly.
Audio listeners, you will enjoy it though.
Exactly. There's going to be like a jarring edit to where I cut in mid-sentence, and somebody's going to be listening. It's like, oh, Evan must have said something wrong then. No, we didn't. It's my pod.
I'm going to blow up those comments.
No, you're not.
Same.
Oh, give me the engagement. Put me on the home screen. Let's do it.
Give you the views.
Done.
Dislike me. L plus ratio.
I know.
My boss, funny before we get into the show, my boss is like a 50-year-old woman. Why is my microphone?
Well, you guys, audio listeners, you couldn't see, but suddenly Evan's mic just started slowly just descending into hell.
I'm going to pass this off to you guys to talk while I fix this for a second. But I look so fucking stupid.
This is hilarious.
So my boss, she said, I try to talk in slang and my kids know it and they just get upset with me and it's funny. And I was like, oh, say less. And my boss was like, what does that mean? And I'm like, okay, I have to explain that to you. So I explained to her, say less just means say no more. It's just a younger way to be like, oh, say no more. It's like, oh, say less. And then she says,
less.
okay, I'm going to tell that to my kids. And I'm saying, oh, if you really want to get your kids, have them say something, but it's stupid, and then look at them and go, L plus ratio. They're going to look at you like you're on meth. And she's like, I don't understand. And I'm like, well, have you ever had a Facebook post and then you get likes and someone comments under it and get more likes than you? That's what a ratio is. And she was like, oh, I'm going to say that. And I was like, tell me, please. Also, can I get a raise? Okay, so we got a big show for you guys today, a huge one. Where do you guys want to start? And by that, I mean answer amongst yourselves while I fix my microphone.
I think we should start with the very beginning of because we are an anime podcast. Yes. What is the very first anime that got you into being an anime? Got you into anime? Because for me, I think I started off with all of them where I didn't realize that what I was watching was anime until I got older. Grew up watching Pokemon, didn't realize that was anime. You know, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Kiki's Delivery Service. You know, I forgot about Kiki's. Yeah, I'm afraid to rewatch it because I've heard that like it's harder to watch as an adult. The voices are hard, but I absolutely loved it. It's still one of my favorites, so I'm hanging on to that nostalgia. But for me, that was just watching like cartoons growing up. I didn't realize those were animes.
I felt the same way. That's how it was for me as well, growing up.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know Naruto was also anime until like I got into college and people were like, oh, anime. And I was like, that was just a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't anime.
And then I got older and I found out, because I've talked about it before, I had an older cousin who got into anime and she watched things around us and then I got into it. And then thank God for Adult Swim. Just complete head dive into all of those. So Cowboy Bebop, Trigun.
Inuyasha.
I actually haven't watched Inuyasha.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
I've watched a few.
Yu Yu Hakusho. Man, imagine trying to do the spirit gun in school today. You get kicked out. Oh. Is that a weapon? No, it's
my
Yusuke.
literal hand. Now, if it was Parasite, it'd be different.
Parasite's a good one. I enjoyed that a little bit. It's a whole thing. The show, not the movie. Two different things.
Two very, very different things.
Yeah. Naruto got me into anime. Just like Emily, I didn't know that Digimon, Pokemon were anime. I just thought they were cartoons.
Yeah.
And I knew Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon were something
Oh, that was another one. Sailor
different. Like, I couldn't explain how, even though Sailor Moon and DBZ like pioneered a market for kids to get into anime. But like seeing Goku get his shit beat in and him bleeding. I was like, this is different from like Pokemon. Like I just saw Pikachu get clapped by Onyx and Pikachu's up and fine. I don't understand. Something's different about this. And Sailor Moon just, I don't know. I liked it. I just liked it. Plus the opener was crazy. Fighting evil by moonlight. Banger.
100%. Still to this day, completely holds up.
Absolutely.
Banger.
But I'm basically the same as the two of you. It's like, I couldn't tell the difference between, I know what anime was until probably around the time I started coming off of like cartoons in general. But it's like, you could tell like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh Hakusho, all of those. It's like, this is a little different from the other shows I watch. What is it? And then you finally figure it out. And you're like, oh, but it's like at that point, it was when I was starting to wane off everything. So
for me, I didn't really realize there was a huge difference of it until I was like in middle school. And I realized that other people weren't watching what I was watching and being ostracized for it. Like, I know I've talked about it before, but like was horribly bullied by my old friends, you know, was the weird kid who watched that. And I realized I'm like, oh, so this is different. It's not just cartoons. And then being like, but these are just such an amazing storytelling that you can get so much better than any TV show. I will fight and die on that hill. Rivendell can suck it. Any anime is better than that. Like, that's where I'm at. So I'm
I
like,
don't even know what that is.
You're not on the internet enough. It's okay.
yeah. So I'm just like, so realizing that's different, I'm like, okay, cool. This is where I'm at now. My lot in life.
The best part about anime is like 90% of all media in any genre anywhere is trash. But with anime, you can at least pick it out real fast. Like there are so many live action shows. I can see the first episode and I'm like, oh, we in here. And then episode 2 and I'm like, what happened to the original plot of the movie?
I can tell you other people are pissed about that because like we were talking about what got us into it. I loved Winx Club growing up. I thought it was so cool, but I can tell that's a cartoon comparative to animes. And Winx Club was one of those things that became live action. Everyone's like so excited. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. They turned it into another Rivendell. And we're like, this isn't it. It's a knockoff. This isn't what we wanted. So
shame. I hate
further proof. Live actions don't suck.
Okay. Yeah. Naruto got me into anime because just seeing a bunch of characters have their own unique powers was cool. Like me, I could project myself pretty easy into the characters because growing up, I didn't think I was particularly good at anything. So to see all these characters where Naruto wasn't just great displays of power in the early ones, it was just who could use what they knew better than their opponent could use theirs. So to see Kakashi versus Zabuza, who have two very different fighting styles, go at it was just, even though we're on the bridge for 30 episodes, it was still great.
Favorite arc ever.
The Sasuke retrieval arc has entered the chat because that one, because I will say I watched Naruto faithfully, but like when that arc happened, I was full in. That's where boys became men. And I'm like, this might be I'm going to do a YouTube video and it's going to be from good to great. Like that scene, that moment, that arc that made a show that was pretty okay, go to like next level. I think the Sasuke retrieval arc for Naruto was that arc.
Yeah.
Because they were just like, oh, we're not holding your hand no more. And Naruto died like 4 times.
Straight up like, oh, you wanted warm and fuzzies? Those died a couple episodes ago.
Choji became a man. Kiba was getting his shit pushed in. Shikamaru was a monster. It's great. It was great. But speaking of, you brought us something up, Emily. Do you think live action anime can ever like work? I don't think it can. And I think we should just stop trying.
Honestly, yeah. I remembered as a kid, the only one that I've ever seen that came close to, and I had to suspend so much reality for it, was the live action Death Note that came out. It was a movie that was done somewhere in the early thousands. And it was the only one where I was like, it stuck the closest to it of like, okay, obviously they changed things because they made an 1.5-hour movie. It was the only one where I'm like, all right, this is close. Every other live action, absolutely not. It has not been close. It has been awful. I'm not here for it. Some things just don't go to screen well.
I concur.
I haven't watched any live actions. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not interested in any of them.
No, Death Note is probably one of like the few anime that could get an adaptation. Because I think Death Note is like the perfect anime to like recommend to somebody because it has that perfect blend of like what anime is about with just the dramatic camera shots. Like I'll take a potato chip and eat it. And plus, like the premise is, oh, if I write somebody's name in this notebook, they die of a heart attack in 40 seconds. That's easy to like come across and to just figure out. So it's not like some other animes where like, so he's the most powerful man in the universe, and he's still in high school, and he fights with like a flip flop. I don't understand.
I saw. Speaking of that, my Twitter has just been full of like, maybe it's like, is it just me, or like not being able to understand powers in Jujutsu Kaisen is just, I just don't get it. They're so complicated. And then somebody retweeted that and went, guys, I've just learned the powers and how they work aren't the confusing part. I just don't know how to fucking read. Like when you guys catch up with the manga, they're explaining this fight that's going on, and this guy's explaining his powers and how they work and his domain expansion. And I'm just like, sure, I don't know how to read. I know some of these words.
I know some of these words. Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen, speaking of, since we're already on anime that got you into anime, Jujutsu Kaisen pulled me back. I was taking a break from anime for like a little bit, and then I saw this, and I was talking to my coworkers about Jujutsu Kaisen. And the best part about it is that like I can see the influences of JJK like everywhere. Like I could see the definitely like the Hunter x Hunter and the Naruto that's in it. But like it did it right where you can tell it's inspired by a thing, but like it crafts it into uniquely its own thing. Like Gojo is just Kakashi in a different font.
Yes.
Like Itadori is just Naruto.
I like,
but like they do it in such a way where it's just like, yeah, and Gojo and Kakashi aren't the same person. You're like, yeah, I can see that.
I saw one, it was a TikTok, and somebody was doing the conversations between Kakashi and Gojo and Megami and Sasuke. And like their equals are matching up, and it was Sakura and like Nobara are talking, and Sakura's like, you're not in love with them? She goes, ew, God, no. And then it was like Ichidori and Naruto like vibing, having the best time ever. And then Sasuke is like, wait, so he's your rival? Like, no, man, he's my best friend. Like, we're good. He goes, wait, you don't want to kill him? It's like, no, he's not. He's my, like, he's fine. And the last one was like Gojo showing up, be like, hey, Kakashi.
Yes.
Kakashi just be like, seriously.
I can't stand Gojo.
Why?
It's a respect hate because imagine just getting bodied by somebody and he pulls his mask off and he has the prettiest eyes you ever fucking seen in your life.
Beautiful.
Well, that's what. That was another thing.
I'd be mad as shit if I'm boxing.
I've seen that clip of that
I'm
show.
mad
It's
as shit.
Why is he so beautiful?
Exactly. You boxing somebody, you're fighting for your life, and he's just laughing like, ha ha ha. You're
what if
weak,
that's
and
like
pulls
really
his
one of
mask
his
down? I'm like, go fuck yourself. Dog.
What if that's really one of his powers? Like, it's not infinite. It's not like he's been a prodigy since he was a kid to be the most powerful sorcerer in the world. He just straight up, everyone is just so distracted by his eyes. That's what gets them beat.
Yeah, JJK is just like 90% staying alive until Gojo shows up.
Well, it's funny. I saw somebody else talking.
Yeah, right?
It's literally that.
Like, Gojo's gonna get here. That's that Dragon Ball Z reference, because everybody just stays alive till Goku shows up. And barely do that.
I'm just being quiet.
So many motherfuckers die in Dragon Ball Z. Death has no consequence in that show.
No.
But yeah, JJK kind of brought me back because it's very unique. Like, however you feel about it, it's very much its own show. Like a lot of shows, they see what is good, what people are vibing to, and they just recreate that. Like, I don't know how much you guys know, but like SAO, big, it's huge, for better or worse. We're not talking about it, not today. But like, then within the next couple of years, there's like 50 different SAOs that are like, let's just do the cute girls and see what happens. Or let's have the video game you're stuck in and see what happens. So for JJK, it was pretty refreshing. So.
And it takes like a different, I like the approach of it too, because I was struggling a bit watching animes where it's like, okay, obviously they're young kids and they're supposed to be these most powerful beings ever. And I still struggle to this day. And it's a huge meme in the community of like some 50-year-old dude who's been working his entire life to get his power. And then it's like some 12-year-old just beats the shit out of him. Hunter x Hunter comes to mind immediately. But I like in Jujutsu Kaisen, it actually like shows of like, hey, no, this is the first years. This is how they actually go. They're not overpowered right away. Like, yes, Ichidora is like super strong when he gets his things, but they're not OP immediately. And explains the whole society and how they work.
He gets knocked out by a cute little stuffed bear.
That bear is the best.
Just get knocked out.
Best thing in existence. And Panda, Oh, love him.
Ah.
Nobody likes pandas.
I love Pan. Oh,
Sometimes it's nice to take a break from the things you love. You know, you don't want to get burned out on anime. Like I've wanted to do for so long, just a show where I break down every show that comes out in a season. You would need a whole year to do that. I don't know how people come up with their seasonal rankings. It's like 50 shows come out a season.
I truly don't believe those people actually watch it all the way through. I feel like they watch 4 or 5 episodes and then like get links from somebody else. Because like you said, that is an entire job in and of itself.
I follow you. And then be like, oh, I read this manga. And I'm like, no, you fucking didn't.
As somebody who binged all of like GGK in 4 days, you can't just do that. And I was recovering from surgery, so I had nothing else to do. It was just 4 days straight on the couch reading.
if you don't like high schoolers acting like they're older, then you don't like Tokyo Revengers, right?
I tried so hard to watch Tokyo Revengers. I tried so hard because so many of my mutuals absolutely love them. And I'm like, okay, I love their taste. I have restarted the first season 4 or 5 times. I tried, but yeah, it turns into the thing. I'm like, I can't get into a 15-year-old being able to do all of this shit. I can't.
Like they're gangsters.
Like
they are gangsters.
Here's what broke me. Here's how it broke me. When you get introduced to Dragon,
yeah.
and he has the full dragon tattoo and all of this, I'm like, at 15, get fucked. That literally, honestly, that was the breaking point for me. I was like, I can't. I know this was probably a great story. Like I said, I have so many mutuals who absolutely love that, and I cannot do it.
You know it's not a birthmark.
No, it's not.
And it's not one of those, stick, peel, get wet, stick to your head.
And it's also them beating the shit out of people while still wearing flip-flops. Like, that's another thing. I'm like, those were weirdly the things that took me out of that one.
And kids are killing each other in middle school.
Yes, and don't get me wrong, I know the girl gangs are huge, and, like, some gang stuff is a thing, but to be that organized at, like, 13 and 12, I know it happens in real life, but I can't.
Anime is made for high schoolers.
I know, and it's hard as a
Yeah.
30-year-old to watch that.
I know. I get it. Just, I know, some things, like, they're made for high schoolers because that's when most kids have disposable income and no bills, and they can just be like, yeah, I'm going to buy a couple volumes today. Yep. So, I mean, some kid wants to be a Yakuza.
I mean, go for it.
Yakuza.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't have the BL community come after me.
Yeah.
I'm going to end you.
You're throwing me off over there with that word.
Whatever. Make my pod numbers go up. So, speaking of a lot, did anybody say a lot? I don't think so. My transitions are horrible. I'm out of pod shape.
Dylan,
So-
what actually got you back into anime? I don't think you...
Oh, shit. Sorry.
The
Well, we
year
never
was
actually answered,
2018.
but... Wow.
4 years
Children, come close. We're going to tell you a story now.
Yes.
Get your blankies.
Here, yay.
Proclamation
Just see
of
a powdered wig drop on
1812.
my head.
Hold up the Pinky Blinders.
Get
I
your
have a
TVs.
story to tell.
My dad's obsessed with that show, by the way.
It is a great show.
And everything.
it is
I'm like, bro.
Great show. One of my favorite lines. Why? Because we fucking can. If we fucking can, we do it.
I came downstairs
Sorry,
to the episode. I'm like, you good, Dad? What you watching?
Love it.
Angry.
No.
fucking fighting.
No,
Get the fuck
fight.
off me. So, Pinky Blinders pod.
Transition. The clothes start transforming. I would say between when I stopped watching versus 2018, I kept track of animes. I looked what happened, all that. I'm like,
Nobody
okay.
actually really gets out of anime.
Yeah, you just keep track. You just don't focus as much because same situation there. It's like I grew up in a small town. Anime is like, what? That's the witch's work. What you mean? Why are you watching that garbage?
That's exactly what I heard through.
But no, I was visiting a mutual friend, and he's like, "Have you seen the show?" And he pulls up Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and 5 episodes in, I'm like, I am watching this. And he's like, all right. We literally spent an entire weekend. We just got through half of it. And then I watched the rest of it over time. I'm like, all right, well, let's see what else is out in this world. But by the time that I did this, I believe Demon Slayer just started coming out. Or just got dropped. The first season dropped or something when I finally wrapped up.
Demon Slayer.
But I'm like, what's this? Okay. I watched the first episode and I'm just...
Side note, I've talked about this with other groups, and I know if we've talked about it. Demon Slayer has the best fight animations and the most beautiful cinematography when it comes to fighting, and I will fucking die on that hill.
These two haven't seen season 2 yet.
I know.
They mentioned that to me, and I wanted to strangle both of them.
No, I told them. I was like, hey, have you watched?
With love, of course.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
naturally.
Oh, it's always out of love.
If we're going to do the top animation and fight choreography, the be-all, end-all is Soul Eater.
Which is the anime that got me back into anime.
I do love Sid. Yeah.
Like Demon Slayer and Soul Eater can be 1A, 1B, but like Soul Eater is top for choreography.
Absolutely.
If you want to go animation quality, I could go Demon Slayer because Demon Slayer probably had a bigger budget.
Absolutely.
But like in terms of choreography, like Soul Eater stands alone and it's not close. I'm gonna let you finish. We don't have to argue about this.
But yeah, that first episode of Demon Slayer, I'm like, oh, yep, and binge watch the whole first season because God, that show
so good.
So good.
So
I'm sorry, I'm just still bitter that you two haven't watched season 2 yet.
no, I know, because talking about season 2, because you guys haven't seen it yet. So my cousin Ann and I, we watch it together, and we were watching it when it was coming out on Hulu. So it was Demon Slayer is one of literally the only animes that I will watch episode and episode when it comes out. Everything else, I wait for the season to be done, either binge it one weekend or wait like 6 weeks. Like the newest season of My Hero, I'll watch before the new one comes out.
Still need to catch up, but we can ignore that.
But I remember there was one of the episodes where we thought everything was going to go bad in season 2, and we had to wait. We just, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say anything because obviously you guys haven't seen it. And Ann and I screamed so loudly on our couch. Like at one point I went from cross-legged holding onto her because she and I would grab onto each other. And like and next thing too, I'm standing too on my couch. Like when I was screaming in Mario Party, I'm standing like this freaking out. Anna's like standing up too. And our dogs are just staring at us like, Mom, what's going on? Like,
get down, please. This is not what you do.
Like Phoebe is hiding next to Luna, and they're both like, "What?" They're looking at each other, like trying to figure out because it was. And then we had to wait. And I think it was the one where there's like a 2-week break, and we're like,
the cliffhanger episode.
Yes, we're just like, this is fine.
No, the best part is that episode came out when I was living with said mutual friend. He had work the day it came out, and I'm just freaking out. I literally call him. He's like, "Everything good?" I'm like, watch this episode when you come home, please.
We need to talk.
Like, I have to discuss. Because I'm like, I'm alone for 10 hours, you son of a bitch.
Love it.
But God,
That was me reading, actually, the My Hero Academia manga. And I was reading the war arc, and like I don't think I blinked for like a good 6 hours. I was at Ashley's mother's house, and Ashley thought I was hiding in the bedroom. And I'm like, no, it's just me in the fetal position, just flipping through my phone.
That's
And then when they showed up the My Hero trader, the creator, he's such a dick, by the way, when he did this. It was a week break. He did the red herring, so it was the person that we all thought was the traitor. 2-week break, brought out the real traitor, 1 week break.
Yep.
He stretched this to a 5-week thing. Oh. The fandom was going nuts. We were in Reddit forums going nuts.
Between me literally watching it happen on Twitter to all my mutuals losing it, and then your text messages of just devolving, chef's kiss.
It wasn't Kirishima, nor was it Kaminari, so I was already upset. He beat the allegations, and I was not happy.
That's how I felt when I was reading the next arc, which is going to be season 2 for Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't think I breathed the entire time, and I binged the 100 chapters in like an hour. I read it in like a speed, and I was not okay. And our mutual friend Jessie, she was on the couch, and I was laying on the floor because I just hurt at this time, and she just hears me go, "Oh," and then I just start crying, and she just goes, "Can I ask?" And I went, "No." She goes, "Was it one of your favorites?" I went, "Yes."
You may ask, I will not answer.
And so then we were rewatching it again because her girlfriend hadn't seen it. And so I just like made a noise, and she goes, I was like, to be fair, I have 30 favorites. It's pretty much the entire, you know how you have, when you ask Haikyuu what your favorite character is, you say Haikyuu? I'm pretty much like that with Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, honestly, I have like my top 3, but then the rest is, I just love them all. So it hurts, but we're We're just waiting.
Slowly but surely.
Let's
Yes.
pivot for a quick second.
Okay.
Pivot.
Pivot for a quick second. I was talking to a coworker about this, and I feel that talking about this with other people will really help me, because maybe it's just me. We'll talk about it. I'm done with Marvel because it's just too much now.
Yes.
Agreed.
Thank you. Yes. Okay.
100%.
Because, and I'm just going to say my piece and then get out of here, and I'm going to let you guys go with it. But I remember there were specific, like, the part of the anticipation for Marvel movies was to see that movie and then see how it tied in to everything. Like, seeing, like, Civil War happen, and then the rest of Phase 3 was Spider-Man, Black Panther getting their own movies kind of felt good, because the Avengers are broken up. There's more room for other stories. Seeing Captain America come out the shadows in Infinity War was like a big moment, because we haven't seen Captain America in like 4 years or something like that. And then in Endgame, seeing Thanos be beat, it really felt like a chapter had closed. And I thought I was going to be done with Marvel because Endgame stuck the landing, and it was going to be hard to like emotionally get myself back in it. But now it's just too much content, because every like couple of months there's a movie, every month there's a show, and the show is 1 hour and 6 episodes long, which is just long enough to keep you having 2 months of Disney Plus. And it's just too much content to where it's just like not even like worth it to get into. You know what I mean? Because you could skip some Marvel movies, honestly, really. But seeing WandaVision, I enjoyed. But then that was immediately followed up by Loki, which it was immediately Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And now
Switch
Miss
those
Marvel's
two.
a thing.
Yep.
Sorry. And then now Miss Marvel's a thing, and just wrapped up its season at the time of this recording. And then there's still the movies coming out, and there's still more to come. And that's just like,
For me, it's just
you brought up, Cook. Sorry, Emily.
No,
I'll
go
let you
ahead.
finish. You brought up earlier today that at this moment, there's like 100 hours of Phase 4 content.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
No, yeah. They reported if all the movies combined that are currently out right now make up about 100 hours worth of time, and like they're promoting that as like a huge deal.
Yeah,
I'm like, have I really spent that much of my life?
Which is more or just slightly less than phases 1, 2, 3 combined. And that I don't think that's how you should be doing it. Like, I really think Disney Plus is hindering the Marvel experience. Was it perfect before? No, by God, no, by no means was it perfect before. But now, since it's just so much, it's tough to keep up with, and it's just not very enjoyable for me. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get back into it.
I feel like as a person, unless Marvel is your entire thing, like if Marvel is you eat, breathe, that's your entire existence, I think this amount of content is normal. But if that's all you're doing, and that's all you really can do, is enjoy that. For somebody who's just now a casual Marvel fan, I can't keep up. When I just watched one of the newest movies, the end credit scene, or a few people were introduced, and I'm like, oh, if it wasn't for the person behind me in the theater who's like, oh, this was from so-and-so, from this episode, from, this season, I'm like, okay, well, I didn't watch any of that. I liked before in the, phase 2, where it was like, okay, these movies kind of tied together, and I like that they had little hints to the other one. Now it's like, I have to watch 60 hours of other TV shows to then get to understand what's happening here.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they brought in like the Flash or something into Doctor Strange. Was it not the Flash?
Wrong
Into
genre.
WandaVision?
Oh, Mr. Fantastic.
Mr.
Daredevil?
Fantastic? Daredevil? Oh, yeah.
That was-
Daredevil made a cameo in Spider-Man No Way
Yeah.
Home. But, like,
Yeah.
there were crazy amount of cameos in
Which was cool, by the way.
Doctor Strange, which I haven't seen.
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, for me, I'm like, as if Marvel is your entire thing and you want this content, that's great, but I don't think you're able to just casually watch it anymore and fully get it, which has made it unenjoyable for me.
Hence the reason I didn't know who was in
Yeah.
the cameos. I was like,
Yeah, I'm just going to see Thor Love and Thunder, and I'm boogieing up out of here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, you were about to say something. Or were you not?
I already forgot, man.
Okay, well, but yeah, so people have been really talking about how tough Marvel is to work for if you're in the visual effects department. VFX. What did I say? Oh, yeah, the VFX department, and how Marvel is just a horrible client to work for. Like, no pay and crazy demands, and it's just a constant thing you have to keep up with. And like a lot of their like key scenes as they're pitching to the Disney higher ups about this is where we're going to go. Like a lot of those things are already like built on CGI, which is not how movies and TV shows go. They're like, hey, and you have to fit everything together at the end. It's a messy process. Can't stand it. Disney, do better. Although, like, the mouse is ever going to listen to fucking me.
No.
But no, I just, damn. Sound like I'm old. I miss the old Marvel. Just if they just had like one release like a month, I'm okay with that, like a movie, or just have the shows a bit different and then tie it in with a bigger movie or something later. I'd be okay with it. But like the fact you have Moon Knight 6 episodes to Miss Marvel 6 episodes, and then they're coming out with another show now 6 episodes. It's just too fast. TV shows can't be 6 episodes. Yes, I know that. I want to be a TV writer one day. Okay, I thought it was just me. No. I thought Endgame closed the book too good, and I just couldn't get back into it. But like, okay, I feel a lot better about myself now.
I mean, Spider-Man: No Way Home was the first Marvel movie I'd seen after Endgame, so I was burnt out for a hot minute. Okay,
yeah, and the way No Way Home was, it felt like Far From Home was just like a 2-hour prequel to what that movie was.
It was that second part we need to fill the trilogy to get from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, like I'm looking at this and I'm like, this isn't like Far From Home. I made an episode with Edgar called Far From Perfect. Like it was enjoyable, but it wasn't a good movie by any means. And then No Way Home was like a very good Spider-Man movie, to where I just felt like, oh, so this was just the prequel to that. Okay.
But I'm so burned out from Marvel that I haven't even seen that one yet because I just don't even have the gumption.
It is worth it a little.
I know it
is worth it.
If Ashley's saying it's worth it because she got pickier than me.
Oh, I did. I don't watch a lot of stuff anymore.
She hung out with me and started picking shit apart. I'm like, hey, babe, I liked it. And she was like, well, the first act could have used a bit more work. And I'm like, whoa, who told you that?
I will cinema sense the fuck out of everything now as watching it.
Ashley will be great at cinema sense.
Ding, ding.
I don't have a ding. I have a gunshot.
Oh, I was like, what the heck?
Dead. Welcome to America. Because for a nanosecond, we did all glance out the window to make sure that wasn't an actual thing, instinctually.
I just moved here. If it's gunshots already, I'm like, come on.
I know. I was like, I don't.
We're living here now.
We're moving.
Good.
Get this house back up on the market.
So, I guess before we get back into the anime, I just have one thing to say. I was in GameStop today. I bought my wife a Nintendo Switch today. And as she's picking out games, I see Mario Party Superstars. And she's excited to play this. Before I realized Mario Party as a game just isn't fucking fair.
It's not fair.
I get it. Life's not fair. Video gaming, it's just not easy. Cook, you put on hella Elden Ring people today. And if I have to go through a 3-phase in a game, I'm just not going to play that game. If I have to fight Lady the Blade and then Lady the Rot, guess what? GameStop's getting it back. Here's the receipt.
I love how earlier I complained about 100 hours of Marvel, but I have no problem putting 300 plus hours into Elden Ring.
Yes, because 300 hours would take like 4 bosses.
Well, I mean, I did have that one boss that took me like 95 attempts. So.
And you see my point. Mario Party as a game isn't fair because the game decides one person's the favorite.
Yes.
And it's like the game
Jesse.
The game realizes, let's create a narrative. Because the first time Ashley, Emily, Jesse, and I played Mario Party, Ashley's not a gamer, okay? This is important for the story. Ashley don't play video games like that. No. So we all get to 4 stars each. Ashley has 0. And she's like, it's fine. I'm just having a good time. This bitch got the next 5 stars.
In a row. No issues.
I don't mean she got 5 stars soon after.
Nope.
The next 5 stars a player collected were Ashley's. And she roars to the lead. And I'm like, it's that moment in a game where you're sitting back. You're sitting back, you're just having fun. It's when you sit up like, wait a goddamn minute, let me put this serious now.
Because one of them literally was she just landed on a question mark and they're like, here's a star. We're like, what in the actual ass was that? What was that?
I didn't ever have to work for my stars.
And then after that star, you got to the item shop. You bought a star teleport. You got the star. And then guess what happened? Because the star had a new space to go to, it was like 10 spaces ahead of you.
And she hadn't gone yet, so she got the next, she had, rolled a 12, and then she got there, because she did double die. I'm yelling into the camera so they can see how. I'm literally I am yelling.
It did not help. I had the plant that comes up and eats the coins, and Evan stepped into it right before my turn, so I could pay to get the stars.
Do you lose at anything, Missy?
She's
Oh,
so
I
competitive.
came in last place.
I know.
I still came in last place.
I was about to say, I'm like,
No,
first you whoop her ass in
no.
Uno, and now I learned this story.
Ashley came in third because here's the next reason I knew Mario Party's not fair. Emily was in first place.
I was on a
steal
roll.
one star from Emily. Drunken white girl spiral. She finished last.
No,
Why?
it wasn't the star that got me. You know what got me?
What?
It was the very first time we played 50 turns. It was this game. Evan and I we're neck and neck, and we were going through. I'm like, okay, he had stolen a star. I didn't see that he had placed this, and so I'm 4 from the star. Evan and I are racing to it, and then suddenly the wall drops, and it ends my turn, and literally that was it.
That is right.
And then I just can never come back, where I finally just made that fuck you path at the very beginning, where I was like, if anything, this is my legacy. I just literally put every item block there. So for like 15 spaces, you were going to land on my shit. And I went from being in first with like 7 stars and 150 coins to 4 stars because 3 of them got stolen from me and like 6 coins.
God damn that ghost.
Yeah. I played also at Tony's house with Edgar and Tony, and it's a small map, but there's only 2-star spaces, one on each end, and every so often in between those spaces, it'll just switch sides where it's from. And I was like 5 spaces away from getting like my 3rd star, which would have put me tied with everybody else. Tony steals a star from me because he pays like 100 coins to Bowser. Then the star space flips sides, and at that point, spiral. I finished with 1 star.
You were really bad when we played with Edgar and Issa.
Yes.
You came in last.
Yes, which is, again, I say, Mario Party, not fair. I don't understand what this game does to people.
Do you remember my freak out when I was dead last? It was you, Jesse, Ashley, and I playing. I was dead last. Round ended. We only played a quick game for us, so I think it was like 25 turns. Mm-hmm. We go through all of this. I went from being like, I wasn't dead last. Oh, at one point, you and I were fighting.
No, you were in 3rd. I was in 4th, and we literally just swapped and pushed them both down to the bottom.
Well, and I was talking about the time where like I got every mini star, and so I went from dead last to winning by a single star, jumped up on my couch and like screamed, "Suck my dick!" Like, yeah. I went for it, that. Like, I was like, no other game has made me that. Like, this is supposed to be a fun, chill game. I went, this is just kicked my ass for the last hour and a half.
Emily. Most distance traveled, Emily.
Most things
minigame
used.
Star. I'm like, oh, that's me. And if it's not me, it's Jesse, because we were going at it. Turns out it was Emily.
Yeah. It was just one of those things where it's like, it had kicked my ass that entire game, and that when I finally won by the single star, like, it just the emotional just drainage afterwards unleashed in a primal scream of "suck my dick."
I remember this so well because that was also the first time Jesse has been in 4th place.
Yeah.
It was the best thing in the world.
Nintendo. What is Nintendo doing to people? I don't understand how this game works. So you see my point then.
Yes.
Oh yes.
It's just not. I don't understand.
Mario Party is the monopoly of our generation. What are you talking about?
Oh fuck! Don't tell me that. That
Okay.
makes
See,
sense.
Mario Party gets reactions out of me that shouldn't come out of a human. Monopoly is just, oh, you can literally play and engage in the crushing weight of capitalism.
One of my favorite times of playing Monopoly.
Speaking of, Amazon just moved away.
Yeah,
Amazon
Amazon
was just there. Hey, Daddy Bezos, sponsor me. I'll shill.
I've bought enough stuff in the past 2 days.
Let's talk about how fucking strange it would be if like he suddenly did sponsor our show.
Jeff Bezos, are you listening?
Oh, Daddy Bezos is like, hey, here's a donation. And like, I'd be like, hey guys, maybe billionaires aren't so bad.
Yeah. Maybe we don't eat the rich, guys. Maybe we don't. We're fine.
Like maybe we can just hunt the homeless for sport. I think we should just change our opinions a little bit on the ultra rich. You know what I'm saying?
They're not all bad.
It's their
guys.
wealth. They earned it.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
Fuck no.
No.
I shop at Home Depot. What the fuck do I know? There's a local hardware store right down the street, and I'm like, ooh, damn. That's what y'all charging? No. What?
The help's so much better at the local
let's do
hardware.
this people are up the street.
Yep.
The let's do this people.
Side note of that. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I know I've talked to you guys about this before. with the Home Depot that's between our houses. My favorite as a cosplayer is going and getting these weird things that I need for a cosplay. Like build weapons and stuff there. And there's a guy in the plumbing department. I know exactly which worker it is. Because even when I'm doing work for my house, he always comes up and he'll be like, no, you're doing it wrong. You need this, this, or this. And I'm like, sir, no. Now, mind you, the few times he did see me, I was always in like knee-high, like heeled boots. I was dressed like really too cute to be at Home Depot. And he'll be like, no, ma'am, you need to do this way. I'm like, sir, I'm using these brackets to turn into a shelf. You don't know what my actual thing is. I went in once and I was like, can you cut this pipe for me? And I was going to turn it into the base for my crescent rose I made. And he's like, well, that's not the correct length. You need to do this, this, and this. I'm like, sir, I'm making a foam weapon. And just watching this grown-ass man just... like, I watched him shut down. But that was my favorite Home Depot odd story.
Oh, they know Ashley at Home Depot.
They do. They know me very well. I will go up and ask every single question that I can.
That's
man.
my girl.
No, but there are sometimes, Ashley, you already know exactly what you're in there for. You just have to go find exactly where it is. And I feel like at this point, if we go into Home Depot and a guy goes up to you and they're like, hey, how can I help you today? I would not be surprised if you looked them up and down and just went, I know more than you, and kept walking.
I know every aisle that I need. I look at everything before, research everything, and then they'll try to tell me what's best. And I was like, no, I already did my research. Shut up.
Yeah.
They're like, this is my department. And I'm like,
I don't care.
no.
I don't care.
This is my store. This may be
I
your
am the
department,
new
but
owner.
this is my store.
Checkmate.
And that's what I mean.
Yep.
So here's something else. We're going to shift gears for just a hot second. Back to the anime. What are some villains in any manga, game, or anime that just had a point? And the first time I came up with this topic, I was like, oh, Eren Yeager.
Easy.
Because I'm like, Eren, wait a minute. Is genocide wrong? Yes, undoubtedly. But does Eren have a point? Yes, undoubtedly.
Yeah. He does.
Is what he did wrong? Technically. But I mean, am I on his side? Kinda, yeah. I'm on with Eren. Start over. So who are some villains that just you think, wait a minute, they spitting. They got a point.
Stain.
Stain's absolute. Stain. Oh god.
3 for 3 on the stain.
Yes,
Stain was right. Stain was right. And everybody was like, oh, but he killed Ida's older brother. We don't know Ida's older brother. Ida's older brother could have been a dick.
Wait, I thought he just paralyzed him. He didn't kill him. He just paralyzed him.
He's
not
just paralyzed.
killed. Although, on a very complete side note, I do enjoy that My Hero Aka doesn't just outright kill characters. Like, they'll have their characters be injured to where they have to retire, which is basically the same as killing them. I think that's a pretty cool touch. But
Unless
I got
they're a
something to touch on
villain,
that.
then
Unless
they're
they're a
dead.
villain. Yeah, like a lot of characters after the war arc, they're just not the same hero. They have some pretty cool scars, or they're just not as efficient as they used to be. Shout out to you, Hawks. But I thought that was a pretty good touch. But Stain was like, yo, these heroes need to be changed. So all of you, I agree with you. Thank you so much for saying Stain. But people are like, oh, but he hurt Ida's older brother. And I'm like, Ida's older brother could have been taking bribes. We don't know.
And that's what I kind of like too with the injuring the heroes to the point where they can't retire. I think for them that's actually worse, because think of how like My Hero in like the universe, the power and everything that you get as being a top hero, that is your life. If you're not in the top 50 ranks, like you don't get any of like the privilege and all that kind of stuff. And so to get knocked down and not being able to be at your full potential, the Hero Commission is like corrupt as fucked. And so they're running that. We're like, oh, you can't give us what we need. Fuck you. You're not going to get everything. It's going to be more difficult for you. Your life's going to be way harder. I think it would be worse to have less of your powers and get injured than actually just die in that.
I concur.
Your whole life gets turned upside down. What's your normal is
Yeah.
not your normal anymore.
Like seeing Shigaraki instead of kill Overhaul, but just take his hands away.
Yeah.
Chilling. That was good because I was finally like, Shigaraki, you're actually doing something besides being annoying.
That whole scene when like Twice and Toga are like, oh, hey, they're on their way, and then Spinner's driving and Dabi and Mr. Compressor just throwing things, and Shigaraki not holding on to anything, just on top of the van when they take that thing out. My favorite fucking scene. Just one of my most entertaining ones to watch over and over again.
Good. I'm gonna edit that part out. Let's see, who else had a point? Madara had a really good point, actually. And not gonna lie to you, I think I'm on Madara's side in Naruto. Because all they do in that world is die. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I think Naruto is a more depressing world to be in than Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like, sure, you can get eaten by a Titan. Yeah, but for most people, that doesn't happen unless it's you weirdo scout people. I'm pointing at Sushi because she's a scout
I am
regiment
a scout
person.
Yes,
Nope.
100%.
Put me inside the walls. I'm chilling.
Pussy ass bitch.
And we forget, like, for the world of Attack on Titan, all people do is die. But, like, for the 100 years that humanity is in the walls is, like, the most peace they've ever had. But in Naruto, no peace. You all will die. All of you are child soldiers. Hey, you're 12. Get in the field, baby.
When you think
There's
about
like 5 great ninja wars between all the countries for basically no reason.
yeah.
So when Madara's like, hey, I'm going to put every one of you in a dream where you're living out your own personal fantasies so y'all can just... Basically, he's doing a super advanced timeout.
I like the wording of that very well.
He's doing a ninja timeout for everybody. It's like, no, you go sit over there.
He gentle parent the fuck out of them. Like, go sit in your room.
So, like, I kind of agree with Madara. I really think he had a point.
I can't fight you on that one.
Yeah,
You're going to tell me I'm wrong?
I can't tell you that you're wrong.
No.
Because everybody, like, don't get fooled. Like, all the villages at the time of the show are still pretty weak. Like, the only reason they're not fighting is because they can't afford to do so. And, oh, God. Oh, I had such a good point about this one, too. Yeah, sending 12-year-olds to go fight your battles for you. Yeah, maybe not the best move.
Well, all I can think about is all the time was like Kakashi and he was a Chunin at 5. So was Itachi. Like Itachi was
Itachi was in the Black Ops at like 13.
He was a captain at 13. Can we just like I don't even trust my 13-year-old cousin to walk correctly. Like motherfuckers are not thing. And when you and I threw the daggers in my bathroom because nothing can stop you from throwing knives in your own bathroom. I was like,
your bathroom.
It's my bathroom. I can think I was like, we had 5-year-olds who are running around who are supposed to be like these elite killers in that show. That is just so trippy for me to think.
Itachi was 15 and they gave him the task of, hey, your whole family, they gotta go.
Control Alt Delete.
Although, yeah. Oh, and fun part about Naruto, actually, I think. The whole Naruto-Sasuke dynamic of Naruto being the light, Sasuke being the dark, had already played out with the 3rd Hokage and Danzo, where the 3rd Hokage is the nice face of the village, the cute old man everybody liked, and Danzo is the I'll do what needs to be done.
The shadow.
Yeah.
Hate Danzo, but the whole plot around him I thought was really interesting. We're just like, in order to have peace, you kind of have to squash things before they get out of hand. And yes, it looks bad. I'm making a kid kill his family, yes, but...
Stopped not uprising.
It allowed everybody else to kind of grow up in peace. But everybody in Naruto has a traumatic backstory. And if people think they can just go into Naruto and just be the main character, no, you're part of someone's backstory. You're dying on a mission.
Yes.
You're like, ooh, I'm just going to escort this nice little old rich family. No, S-rank ninjas clapped. And I don't know what y'all don't understand about this.
Suddenly there's Hadan there. You're like, son of a fuck.
Oh, I enjoyed him.
I love him.
I love him. I can't wait to cosplay as him.
That crazy murder hobo.
I want to cosplay him so bad.
Best day ever.
I know.
Oh. Yeah, I was trying to think of a video game character. Villain.
I just finished Horizon Forbidden West last night, and oh, buddy. I kind of want to say Sephiroth is right. But I don't know about that game because Sephiroth just looks good. He looks trustworthy. Plus, One Winged Angel, such a banger theme. Like, how could you be wrong?
Honestly, top 10, one of the greatest songs ever created.
Now, the variant version they have for a remake, even though you haven't played it yet, so good. So good.
The Covenant in Halo might have been right. We're just going to wipe out humanity because we feel like it.
Control Alt Delete.
I mean, the more I stay on Earth, the more I'm like, you know what? Just glass this shit, dog. Get us out of here, gang. No. Oh, man. I promise you guys I'm in a good mood.
This is exhaustion speaking.
You guys ever look at a romance anime and when they end with holding hands, you're weirdly satisfied.
Yes.
Like for 24 episodes with a bunch of misunderstandings, but then they hold hands and you're like, this is good. This is where I need to be.
Yes.
Yes.
So Ashley, you talked about cosplay. We're going to get off this, I guess.
Oh, okay. My bad.
You talked about cosplay.
This is the most chaotic episode we filmed in a
I'm
cohesive.
out of pod shape. I have no idea. We're just going.
This editing's going to be fun for you, my guy.
Yeah, want to guess how many minutes we're in right now?
No, I've been paying attention, so I know.
I can't see that far at all.
We're an hour in already.
Yeah, we're already in.
Holy cow.
So
Yeah.
Ashley, you talked about cosplay. Last year was your first anime convention.
Second.
Second?
Yeah.
What?
Remember?
When?
2 years ago.
Doesn't count.
Oh, okay.
Kidding. So I bring this up because this year.
Right, I know. Like, this was my first anime build
Okay.
con.
Okay. So I say.
Like, I am confusion.
I'm very confused. So somebody is gonna have their first con this year. Hit a button, bitch. That yellow one.
Yeah.
And then hit the air horns. I'm gonna lose a subscriber for this episode.
It's me.
So, each of us are gonna have vastly different first con experiences.
Yes.
Which is why I was like, "Hey guys, let's talk about them." Because Emily, you've been going to cons as long as a lot of people have been alive.
Ow.
Ashley, you've
I
been
was going to say, ow, damn.
what? Oh, what?
He's not wrong,
What?
and that's the part that sucks.
What? She's not like, I'm not saying she's 40. I'm saying she went to her first con at 16.
You're right.
I know.
Ashley, you and I have been to cons as adults, meaning that we can actually go there and afford to buy things and get access to rooms that Emily probably did have access to, but probably shouldn't have been there.
I don't even think they existed when I first went to cons.
No, they're
Right.
a new thing.
Yeah. We've been to YumaCon when it was like at the big hotel. It's like a premier event in Detroit now. Emily went to YumaCon when it was just like at like the DoubleTree.
It was at a single like 4-story Marriott in like the middle of nowhere.
And now Dylan's going to go and he's going to be the con baby. And everybody around him has years, plural, of experience. So, Ashley, what was yours like? And Cook, what do you think yours is going to be like? What are you looking forward to?
I'm going to be walking around there going, having a good time when I'm surrounded by thousands of people.
Do you even like crowds? No.
Hold on. No one does who goes to an anime convention.
No.
All of us hate crowds. We're socially awkward. However, anime conventions, we're like, fuck it, we're here.
We're all so nice to each other, too. We're not like
We've had really lucky things. I have had some shitty people where our groups just avoid them.
That's fair, yes.
Remember, you weren't there the first year of my soccer, and then we had him for a second time.
Oh,
Let's
That's a
let's
different
address that real quick.
Okay, never mind.
You're not gonna speed past that. Like you didn't say what you just said.
I wouldn't say stalker, that was a bad term, but the person
No,
who was
that was
literally
right.
too interested and made things very creepy and uncomfortable.
Stalker.
Just the 2 years. And then I
Well,
retired that cosplay.
Well, this year y'all got 2 bodyguards, so
Well, so side note. So I was cosplaying as Femme Naruto. I was walking to get my keys from the hotel key from Evan the one year. I was so done. I was like, I just need to go home, take this wig off for a little bit. And as I'm walking to find him, this guy stops me. He's like, oh my God, I absolutely love your cosplay. Naruto's my favorite. Can I get a picture with you? And I think he was dressed up as either Guy or Lee. I'm like, whatever. Yeah, sure. No problem. And we do that. It's fine. I leave. I go home, I go back to the hotel. Everything's good. And it wasn't until about like a week or so later. And I love these guys because my cousin has a group that she goes with. They noticed he had made a post in the YomaCon group with my picture and was like, hey, does anyone know this girl? I just want to let her know I absolutely loved her cosplay. I just want to let her know like this stuff. I just want to get in contact. And so they took a screenshot, sent that to Anna, who sent it to me. And I was like, ee. So the next year we went, I remember we were walking around in the artist alley and I was dressed up as Naruto again. And this Goku stopped me. Exact same thing
for this one.
Yeah, because I went, we disappeared, and
Yes.
all of Anna's friends were dressed up as monster hunters. So they had the full armor and gear and weapons. And so I just walked up, and I was like, hey, guys, and I already had warned them. I'm like, hey, guys, he's here. And within 2 seconds, I was surrounded by all of these guys, like 8 people in this monster hunter guard with their weapons up, completely blocking me, walking me out. I was like, this was the greatest experience out of that. So, Femme Naruto no longer comes back to, what's it called, to YomaCon. She's officially retired from this place.
Shame. That was my favorite.
I know.
I
It's
know.
fine as hell.
Yeah, I'm really sad about it, but I also understand.
Maybe at one point.
Look at Ashley. Like, yep.
Maybe a
Shame.
different con. Maybe a different con. Not here.
How was your first con, Ashley?
My first con was overwhelming and underwhelming at the same time.
Oh.
Well, I wasn't actually sure what to expect when I was going, and I didn't actually truly have my cosplay prepared as well as I would like, because I wasn't really into anime. I was out of it for a little bit, and then we went, and I was like, my life sucks without anime. Like, this shit sucks. I haven't watched anything. Look at all these cool cosplays. I'm so far behind. And, like, I agree with Emily. She said this before. It doesn't matter if you buy it or you make it. It's still you and it's yours. But I didn't get that my first year.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm really far behind. This sucks. I was like, The second con, though, was great because I made my own weapon, which is huge.
Con celebrity. Couldn't go 10 feet without getting a picture.
No, it was fantastic.
It was great. It was great, too. Turned out excellently.
It was so good.
I think for my first year, though, I should have gone not dressed up like what Jesse did and just kind of looked around and viewed everything rather than trying to crash 12 cosplays into a small weekend.
If I may also add, though, I definitely think that your first con was a bit underwhelming, mostly because you were very focused on making the thing happen. Because Emily and I, my first year, we just packed whatever we had and just went. Like, we were eating apples and ramen noodles and just whatever we could find wherever it was around somewhere. You were like, fuck all that. Here's an air fryer. Here's a rice cooker. Here's meals for this time. And here's breakfast. And Ashley was keeping the team fed.
That's because I wanted us to spend more money on merch rather than food. And I don't mind standing in line for food, but when you're waiting in line for an hour, when you're not sure if you're hungry or not.
Like, Evan and I, we survived it. But our
Survival's definitely the word, yes.
Yeah, our very first con back, like kind of the same thing that you did. Our first con back, we just went on the Sunday, and we were like, oh, we both enjoyed anime. It wasn't a thing, and then we went there, and the vibe was like, oh wait, no, this is my entire being.
Yeah.
So then we just evolved since then.
This is who I want to be now.
And I try to explain to you so much of I plan on cosplaying these amount of cosplays in 3 days. You do not have to live up to this. I've already done this.
Yes.
I've been here. And you were like, no, I do this. And I was like, you might regret that. And you're like, no.
My second con was great, though, because Evan and I went a lot as bouncing off of each other, or we weren't. But either way,
Yeah.
we had 2 changes every single day. Mostly because carrying Samahata for
My dad laughed
6
at me
hours
for
was
being
too much.
Inosuke. He was like, I've never seen Evan shirt off, mask on, and fur draws.
I gotta find that picture of you and the other Inosuke just going like this. That was my favorite.
I don't care. I will run that Spider-Man meme into the ground. I love it.
It's
That
my
shit was
favorite.
great.
Cook. I'm so excited for it to be your first year.
Yeah, what do you expect it's even going to be like?
Yeah.
I have no idea, honestly.
Have you ever been to any convention for anything?
Well, I mean, I've been to concerts. I've been to last year I went to my first wrestling pay-per-view because my older brother was like, "Let's go," and I'm like, "All right," and that was fucking insane. But I mean, so it's I expect I understand what's going to be around crowds of people, but someone with social anxiety is going to be like, "Woo, okay." So, but I mean, I'm going to be with you guys, so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
But I expect positive chaos. That's how I will describe it.
That tracks.
Expect to help out
Positive.
weapons quite a lot and not hitting people.
Did you hit that red button? That's the episode title. Positive chaos.
Positive. Oh.
I saw that and I was like, write that down, write that down.
Welcome.
Yeah. The best way to describe it, I guess, is when I first went. It is exactly what you expect and also not what you expect. I don't know how else to put that. It's an anime convention, but it's an anime convention. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. Can't wait.
You'll always see, what was it? Last year we did a count of how many maid outfits we saw. Or
Yes.
people in maid version.
Cat. Yeah. Cat maids.
Was it cat maids or just maids?
Cat
I didn't.
Oh, yeah, there were cat girls.
Okay.
Meow.
Okay. See,
I think because I just randomly have a note that just says 56.
that was made. That
That
was
was you can't get close enough. So we did that. There's always some dude, not just wearing the Agrago shirt, but the full hentai,
full Agrago
socks,
shirt.
shoes, everything.
Which that is now banned.
At Yomacon?
Yes.
On a side note, we talk about Yumacon specifically. We live in Detroit. Like, I live in
Yes.
Detroit. Like, that's the main reason. I've wanted to, like, travel to a bunch more cons, but then
we were going
Then I
to.
look at my wallet and I'm like, ooh.
We were going to. We had plans 2020. We were going to go to ColossalCon, and then we were going to go to Yomacon. I was going to RTX, and then we were planning on possibly Hallmark or Katsucon.
Yeah, I was going to go to
And
Katsucon
then-
in DC.
And then the pandemic happened. and
Some sickness went around. Like, it
Weird.
wasn't really that big of a deal. But like,
didn't-
I mean, things happen.
You might have
Stop.
heard of it.
everything.
They canceled Colossal Con and didn't give refunds, right?
No, we got refunded.
I think.
We didn't end up buying.
We
our
didn't buy tickets, but like our rooms they refunded because I
Okay.
already had gotten our room. But we didn't book with the lodge because within the 2 seconds I got the notification and clicked, it was sold out. We got a hotel down the street.
Right, because Colossal
Yeah.
Con is at Kalahari, to
We
where you
got-
have to buy, I think you have to buy
4
the
days
room,
minimum.
You have to buy the water pass as well. And you have to buy your badge for the con.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is like an obscene amount of money.
And we had gotten tickets at the Great Wolf Lodge just down the street.
Yeah.
And so I called them and they refunded it immediately, no issues. Because that was early enough in the time where like everyone's like, oh, we'll just close for 2 weeks. We'll just close for 2 weeks.
But for the tickets for Colossal Con, I believe they didn't even give a refund or wait until the following year because they canceled Colossal Con.
well, yeah,
Which
everything
is
got
why
canceled
we
late.
all decided we weren't going to buy tickets because if it gets canceled, we're
Yeah.
out of a lot of money there.
Yeah.
So,
I think- yeah.
moral of the story is we're going to try to go to more. There's more cons in Michigan that I want us to start going to. There's actually one in Kalamazoo right now. I think it's DokiCon.
Never heard of it.
Then there's Anime Midwest,
Heard of that.
which is in Ohio or Illinois, that a lot of our friends go to.
Somebody comment what happened in New York Anime Con, because I heard that
Oh,
one
I know.
was a shit.
No,
heard
that was a shit
one
show.
shit show. Like, I got to see what happened for that one.
So what ended up
We
happening?
need a fire style documentary for that. What was it?
So-
Firefest?
Yeah, Firefest.
We need a documentary for that.
So everybody got there on Friday to get their tickets because they didn't have a pre-early like on Thursday like we do at Yomacon. They got there. They were stuck for hours in the cold before they even got into the building. Some of them like missed out on their tickets on Friday because they were stuck in line outside and inside all day. It was insane. But yeah, I just remember seeing all of my mutuals being like, fuck this fest. I was like, so anime, New York, nope.
Anime New York. Okay, that's the one it was. Okay. Yeah, I did want to go to one in Boston. It's in April. I forget what name it is. But anyway, so yeah, can't wait to go to con. I actually wanted to host a panel this year, but I have no idea how to ask them, can I host a panel?
I
And
think
it was
they-
just going to be about hentai anyway.
I think there's
Speaking
a link.
of, yes, I look at you, but no, I'm really talking to Ashley. I remember talking to Ashley. We were just counting cat girls at oh my gosh, she's gonna hate me for saying this. We were talking about cat girls, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna keep it a stack, Ashley. Cat girls are overrated." And she was like, "Yeah, they are." And I was like, "Hey, cowgirls are where it's at." She goes, "Yes,
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
so happy somebody agreed with me. Then I was like, "Wait a goddamn, who told you that? How
No,
did you stumble
100%.
on this? Where were you getting cowgirls from?"
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
So
Hey, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And then some people were like, dog boys. And I was like, dog boys.
Yes.
yeah,
I was like, what the fuck?
I'll have to.
Which is funny because then my boy Edgar was like, hey, spider girls are hot. And I was like, you think that because the anime draws them really good. You do not want the top half, busty, fine as hell, bottom half, 8 legs, hairy, collapsing on you with a butt rope. You don't want that problem.
have
That's literally a boss in Dark Souls.
I have a question for you guys that's not related to this. Would you rather have a fish top with a human bottom or a mermaid bottom and a fish or a human top?
Like,
Or a fish bottom and a
wait,
human
hold on.
top?
Like me personally, or as the person I'm dating?
The person you're dating.
Oh fuck! Oh, that changed my answers.
Okay. There's only one right answer, and that's give me the fish bottom.
Yes.
Because
Give me them
the
fish
only
nips.
thing I picture is, when they like put whole fish in like packages to be sold like that, just like like the fish eyes staring at me. I can't imagine just rolling in bed and staring at that. Like, you know that little fish anchor in like Bikini Bottom, like just in, like
Yes.
in SpongeBob, like this just in, SpongeBob is bad,
No.
like that. That's what I'm picturing, and I'm like, I can't take that.
Yeah.
With actual human legs.
Yes.
My leg. No. Give me
absolutely not.
Give me the mermaid top. Why would that be? Why? Why would you ask me that?
Because I think it's funny.
No.
Ashley, what would you pick?
Positive chaos.
No.
Death.
Choose death. Ashley goes for a third option. Fuck you, death.
No. No, God, no.
Those scales would be so disgusting to clean up.
Stop. Slimy.
Imagine
We
giving
were
them a
having
hug.
a good day.
Oh, I
Having a
hate
good
this. Let's
time,
switch back to talking
having a
about
good
hentai, which is where we were at.
No, I'm saying like monster, like the monster, like hentai has definitely popped up a lot recently because they are some of the best goddamn artists like on the planet. Oddly enough, yeah. Don't let Monster Musume get it fucked up. Spider girls are terrifying. Nobody wants those.
But they're so hot with all those legs.
Yes.
Just think about what they could do to you. They could wrap you up in their web.
Hard pass on that one, good buddy. Hard pass on homegirl having a butt rope. There's a bunny in my backyard.
Squirrel. Moving on.
Anyway, yeah, the hentai panels were great.
Which also, we need to get premium passes this year. And I like the way that Detroit, the Umicon did tickets this previous year. And I hope they continue to do it that way.
Which was
Where they had everyone can come and buy tickets on Thursday night. It wasn't just pre-registered because then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the lines were short.
However, for the people who didn't
Oh, I
do
forgot about
premium
that.
like we did or had rollover like
I
we
forgot
did.
about that.
Remember, Anna and her friends were all in line and were told to go home at 9 p.m. Whereas previous years, everyone could just show up and do pick up their stuff. So I liked having Thursdays as pre-reg and pre-reg only and platinum. That was so much easier because you didn't have thousands of people going back to the hotel rooms without their tickets. And Anna lost most of Friday waiting.
Oh, no. They said they were only in line for 15 minutes.
Okay, I know somebody else who like just straight up they had.
That was on, I think, probably on Saturday.
my first con with Emily. Yeah, she knows this story. My first con with Emily. I didn't have the money back at the time, like when registration was up, so I wasn't able to get a badge. So I had to wait till like Friday morning. On Friday morning, I walk in. Emily points me to the line, and that's like the longest line I've ever seen. I'm like, whoa, what is this? Like, what's going on in there? Is it a Lions game in there or something? Is it a Super Bowl over there? And
I had offered to stand with him.
oh, yeah, you did. I looked at the line. And I was like, damn, that's a line right there. I might as well just get in it. And then it was like, I can stand with you if you want. And I looked at the line. I look at Emily and I go, no, I'm not going to take up too much of your day like that. This is an Evan problem. Don't worry about it. She goes, are you sure? I look at the line, look at Emily. I look back to the line. I go, nah, it's fine. I turn around. Emily's gone.
Dipped. I was so gone. The
I
second
don't
he's like,
mean
you're good.
she's walking away. I mean, like, I was like, Emily. Like, she had turned the corner and she didn't want to give me the chance to change my mind. She
Flame
was
trail.
gone.
Yeah. Like, I disappeared into a goddamn crowd.
Yeah, she was like only asking me to be
She whipped out
polite.
the invisible cloak. Was like, but
In your defense, it wasn't that long. You were all, like, it moved quickly.
It did. It felt like I think I was only there for like an hour, which
Yeah.
I wasn't too worried about it. They're all volunteers. I'm not paid. I'm
Yeah.
nice to people. So I got a question.
Got an answer?
I got a question. Since I opened my thing. How long is your anime to watch list in relation to your is watching or in relation to your already watched list? Lie to me. Lie to me.
Actually written down list.
Oh, you got to get in my anime list account.
Okay.
Let me bust out the 300-foot scroll. Oh, let me go off.
Here, yay, here, yay.
I have so many on my to watch list.
I have so many on my to watch list. I just can't remember them now.
I have
I'm at the same point.
Yeah, I have a list that when I was sick with what I thought was COVID, I had asked all my mutuals, like, hey, send me your favorite anime so we can watch it. And I wrote that list down. I've watched 3 out of the 4 of that, but my like to watch list is so much longer. I've like, my watch list is like at least a couple hundred.
I just wanted to hear you guys be nerds.
Walk into my house.
Don't ask me about my to be read in the books pile. That is insurmountable. And I don't think
that-
I'll ever get that.
Is my emotional support pile. Don't touch it.
On an unrelated note, Emily, how many tabs do you have open right now? Or did you close them all because you expected me to ask you that when you got here?
Right now, because I actually went through. Hold on, it's freaking out.
Don't worry, Ashley. Don't laugh too loud. You're next.
Mine's not too bad right now. It's only 4.
That's a lie. Are they all archive of our own?
Yeah. No, I don't read anything else.
You pass.
It's only that. Normally I have more. I'm kind of in between fandoms right now.
Dylan, I'm going to ask you about your YouTube watch later list.
Let me see here.
Because I had like 57 in mind, and it was giving me, it was stressing me
I
out.
honestly haven't even looked. So
I deleted my delete already seen videos, and it took it down to like 22, and I was like, that's manageable. I want you two to lie to me.
Like more.
Ashley, are you still? Is that a calculator?
I have 49 videos in my watch later.
That's stressing me out.
What? Apparently, Galaxy Fold information, Galaxy Buds information, Resident Evil 2 stuff. What will happen if you start eating oats every day?
No.
All right.
Pause. What happens if you start eating oats every single day? That's a video?
That's literally what it says. Yeah. What will happen if you start eating oats every day?
Okay. So
is that a video game or real life?
It's a video.
we're gonna end this so I can watch that video. I'm curious. Look at that. Look at that clickbait.
Okay.
Ashley, we still didn't forget about you.
No, I think we should move on.
No. I just want you to. I need to hear the truth. Tell me the truth. I'm ready to hear it.
I have 77 tabs open.
Oh
62 of them are BL related manga.
BL related.
For our
All right, BL manga.
For our audio listeners, what you just missed was my stunned silence. Evan has his head in his hands, and Dylan almost spit Mountain Dew Rockstar all over our equipment. He
77.
straight up almost ruined the furniture.
And I'm such, which is so out of character for me because I cannot have anything. I'm very OCD about everything.
She what she's saying is she either needed to delete a tab or open another tab because she fucking hates odd numbers.
Yes.
That's what she's getting to. How many do you have open?
2, 4, 6, 7. And 3 of them I opened up today when I was at GameStop to show Ashley gameplay of the game. And then there was an article I wanted to read to get back later. Like, I can close all of these and be fine.
Does it count if 26 of the tabs aren't working because the site is down?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it counts.
The
Okay.
fact that it started with 26 of the tabs. No, fuck off anything else. There's no way you can get past that.
If
It
you think
started
I'm
with
spot
26.
26.
So there's a site that's down right now. So I'm
For
waiting for it.
maintenance or for like legal reasons?
No comment.
Audio listeners, I'm sorry. I just keep staring into the camera like a fucking office video. Just like,
The sushi was too stunned.
Either way, the site has been down for a month and a half.
and you still fucking have it open? You just save one?
Because as soon as I remove it and the site is back up, I lose everything. And I didn't add anything to my bookmarks. And like the site is so like touchy to where I have too many bookmarks. So if I add another one, it deletes one that I had.
That's some bullshit.
I can only have 5 pages of bookmarks, which is about 172.
No, I know, because I have over 14 bookmarks and archive.
On a side note, I asked this to you 3, probably to these 2 more so. I'm sorry, Dylan. Like, you ever like find like a book or like a fic you want to read, and then like you forget about it and close it, and then you want to go back to it the next day because you realize, hey, that was pretty good. You just can't find it anymore.
That's why I have all my tabs.
You're like, where the fuck is it?
I sent you that video where it was literally the guy clicking through and you don't remember and you're just clicking through the AO tabs like, where the fuck is it?
You're not even in your history because your history just shows, hey, you were on here for like an hour. Figure it out.
I literally had a story I wanted to reread, and I read it like 5 years. Shit, it was more than that, almost 10 years ago. And I was like, fuck, I want to reread this. And with archive, you go through and occasionally if like author deletes it, it just deletes from your story. It just says, hey, sorry, this work was deleted. It doesn't tell you what the work was, so you can't just like mourn it. So I'm like scrolling through like 15 pages back of my saved thing, and I was like, what the fuck was this work? What was this work? And I was so sad because I thought I couldn't find it. Fucking finally found it. Because it was like the equivalent of like 6-chapter book, like actual real.
We're going to sign off on this question. Dylan, you ever find a YouTuber you like so much, you go through like 20 of their videos, you subscribe, you're like, oh, this guy's great. And then the moment you hit subscribe, everything they put out after that point is garbage?
Oh, multiple times throughout the last like 15 years. Easily.
Like the moment you hit subscribe, you're like, oh, new video. And you're like, this isn't the same person. What is this?
But do you keep watching?
No.
Oh, okay.
I got one worse.
I think I subscribe to on YouTube the most people I ever have in my life, and it's like 40 people, and that feels like too many for me.
Yeah, I go through every couple months. Like if I haven't watched somebody's content, I just unsubscribe. Or like every couple months.
Yeah, like I get it. Like not every video you put out is going to be a banger, but just like at some point it's like, oh, okay, maybe I just only liked you because I could binge your content and then keep moving. Maybe I don't like the creator you actually are day in, day out.
I fell in love with the creator. Absolutely loved it. Discovered it late in life. He just passed away from cancer. Oh. Literally, we're like, holy shit, he uploaded a video? Because, like, that's a joke in the community. This motherfucker never uploaded videos. Ever. Like, it was even a joke. Someone in a Twitch chat, they're, like, complaining about somebody else uploading videos, like, once a week. And they're like, Technoblade uploads videos? Like, it's a huge thing. And we're like, fuck yeah, he uploaded. And it was his dad giving his goodbye letter. We're like, Nope, we're good. I just discovered him within like the last like year and a half. And I was like, this is fine. Everything's fine. The heartbreak of shit.
Thanks. Way to bring down that mood. We were talking about fan fiction. You talked about somebody that was writing through a surgery that they weren't going to make it. And now you bring in this one. Thank you. Okay.
You're like, this is fine. Everything's fine.
Not to mention the Yu-Gi-Oh creator passed away the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. R.I.P. to the legend. R.I.P. to the legend.
So sad.
Funny about that, actually. I think he was a horror mangaka. He wrote horror. And for Shonen Jump in Japan mostly, and we don't see it here, like all the weekly Shonen Jumps, like all the chapter updates that we get today, they're in this big old magazine that comes out once a week. And they ask people to fill out cards and send them back so the people higher up can see what's getting traction, what do people like, what's not. And he had like, I think it was a horror one. And in one chapter, it featured a game the characters are playing, which eventually turned out to be Duel Monsters. So they were a bunch of cards that came back in, like, yeah, do that. We love that. And they were like, hey, you should just do a new one with this. And he was like, fine, but I'm not going to be happy about it. And that became Yu-Gi-Oh! The legend that happened completely, nearly by accident.
Yeah.
So rest in peace to the legend.
Yeah, no, and it's what really, because I was like, yeah, he passed away on the news broke out. He passed away on my dad's birthday because I think that's when they found his body. Because if I recall, they found him drowned at sea, which, damn. And that was on my dad's birthday. I'm like, yeah, it's a good day hanging out. And I get that sent to me. I'm like, no.
Yeah, and you're a huge Yu-Gi-Oh fan.
Oh, yeah, that was my.
Have you ever been to a
That was my childhood show. Not a official one, but like I did when I had my Yu-Gi-Oh retirement a couple years. When I got back into it, the old stomping grounds up north there, one shop, what was it called? Can't remember off the top of my head. But they would have like competitions there, and I'm like, oh, let's see how it is. And I'm like, what the heck is that? What? Synchros? What is this? I have my normal monsters. And they laugh in my face. And I'm like, and I'm like, all right, this is different. Then I let back out.
I want to go to a tournament to observe, just to see how weird people can get. And speaking of, if you're going to go to a con, wear deodorant.
Take a shower.
Matter of fact, you're going to go. But you know what sounds good, guys? Ramen.
I was going to say ramen.
Yes,
let's go.
Please.
Me.
So thank you guys for joining this episode today. I don't have a better dismount. My transitions have been terrible, but I hope you guys like the show.
Yes. It's good to be back, guys.
Subscribe.
Yes.
Hit that like button or whatever
Now
it
that
is.
I haven't, it's the like button, babe.
Okay, thank you.
Now that I've moved, I can actually enjoy and actually pod again.
However, who knows when this will get edited?
Oh yeah, no.
It's
I'm setting my computer up tonight. Amazon dropped me off a package. Computer getting set up tonight, babe. I'm getting my shit mounted. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the listening. Dylan, thank you for coming back. Thank you for being here with me in the new house. And also, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Ashley Sushi, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me
Even
again.
though you joined me for literally ever. And I don't want to bother you like, babe, you said something good. It's a pod episode. And you're like, oh, it's fine, whatever.
I love being the PA though.
Oh, my production assistant?
Yes.
And you're the best one at it. You should have seen Cook him with the camera. Shit was all over the place. You did a good job, Dylan. And Emmi Cosplay, thank you so much for also coming back.
Thanks again for having me. It was so much fun.
Also, I think in order, you were guest 1, you were 2, and you were 3.
Correct.
That works out so well.
In that order. But all right, guys, we're going to let the sultry sounds of JJK opening number 2 take us out. This has been the Ecchi and Show podcast with your boy Suneater Evan, Arklay Red, Ashley Suchi, Emmi Cosplay. We out of here.
Ramen.
Take my headphones off when I do this.